amateur and professional.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's time for the big one. It's the IBS Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Would you welcome now the challenger from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Carl the Jackal Frampton.
And listen to that tumultuous occasion that tells us that the waiting is almost over. It's a very chilly evening here down by the riverside in Belfast, but it's red hot in terms of the atmosphere in this capacity crowd of 16,000. Everybody now staring over to one corner of this arena, and through a set of black curtains very shortly will appear the man that all the attention has focused on for so long. He's been a professional for 5 years, unbeaten in 18 contests, and comes here having beaten the man who holds the belt, and beaten him decisively just along the riverside 19 months or so ago. And so the music strikes up, and Carl Frampton steps onto a stage and turns around 180 degrees and blows single kisses to the crowd, claps his gloves together. He's wearing a shimmering white robe, and he's just about to push back the hood as he begins to make his way towards ringside. Spotlights swirling in front of him and behind him. He is the centre of attention all over again. He claps his gloves together once again, and now he starts that walk to the ring. It's about 50 to 60 metres, flanked by security personnel on both sides, as so many of the fans just want to wish him well by patting him on the shoulders, and they're all trying to take their photographs as well to capture their moments as he comes very close to us here at our position at ringside. He's just a few feet away now, and he'll step up just 3 steps between himself and the ring apron, and this defining moment in his career. Onto the canvas he is now. He stands there, turns around to face all 4 sides of the crowd, steps between the centre 2 or 4 ropes, and heads over towards the blue corner, far side of the ring, punches his chest, and again takes the acclaim on all 4 sides of the arena.
He looks absolutely fantastic, Mike. He looks cool, calm, collected. Like I say, the main thing now, get a feel for the ring, move about, and the most important thing is now, like I said before, I know I seem to be repeating myself, but he cannot get engrossed in this crowd. He has to keep a level head, listen to Shane McGuigan, listen to Barry, and they also have fantastic knowledge in that corner in the great legendary Jimmy Tibbs.
And so we wait for the arrival of the champion, and there was a feeling earlier on that maybe the champion would keep Frampton waiting here for as long as is possible, partly because of the conditions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome the champion from Alicante, España, Kiko Martinez.
Chorus of derision is exactly what Martinez would have expected, but here it's more than a pantomime response. They really want to be the extra help in the corner of Carl Frampton to try to sway it his way if ever it's going against him, and that's when home support can be so important, as we've been hearing here from Tony Bellew. This is a man, Martinez, who has regrouped and rallied in his career in remarkable style since losing here in Belfast to Frampton in February of last year, winning the title just 6 months later in stunning style over the Colombian Jonathan Romero, and successfully defending it twice. And now he bows respectfully to the crowd as he stands on the same ring apron, and like Frampton, steps between the centre 2 of the 4 ropes, skips and jumps and runs on the spot to really key himself up for one last moment. Also there with him, we were hearing about the experience in the corner of Jimmy Tibbs and Shane McGuigan, and the all-round expertise, and Martinez has actually changed trainer and changed his management team since that fight 19 months ago, and he says he's a new fighter. What does he look like to you, Tony?
He does. He looks a completely different fighter. His fighting style has become a lot more rough and rugged. The thing that he's kept most importantly is the power. Martinez, like I said before, has power very early in fights. He has very experienced men in that corner there. Sergio Martinez, former pound-for-pound guy. So there is experience in his corner also. But the one thing's for sure, he won't have experienced this atmosphere before.
Sounds of Boxing and Gary Shaw Productions, and very, very kindly supported by the Northern Ireland Executive, the Northern Ireland Tourist Board, Tourism Ireland and Belfast City Council. Sponsored by CWMFX, is very proud to bring you 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Our officials appointed by the IBF and the British Boxing Board of Control. Supervisor for the IBF from Trenton, New Jersey, USA, Mr. Lindsay Tucker. And from the British Boxing Board of Control, Mr. John Williamson and Mr. John Campbell. Our three scoring judges at ringside, from Wisconsin, USA, Mike Fitzgerald. From Twickenham, England, Marcus McDonnell. And from St. Paul, Minnesota, Danny Nelson. The timekeeper from Hillsborough, County Down, Dale Elliott. The referee in charge from Fleetwood, England, Mr. Steve Gray. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in attendance here at ringside, and for those watching on Box Nation and around the world, the officials are ready. The boxers are ready. Are you ready for the main event? In the blue corner stands the challenger with head coach Shane McGuigan. Wearing white shorts with gold on the scales, 8 stone, 9 pounds, 7 ounces. A perfect professional record of 18 wins from 18 contests, 13 inside the distance. Former undefeated Celtic, IBF Intercontinental, Commonwealth and European champion from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Carl the Jackal Frampton. And in the red corner stands the champion with head coach Yavi Samiento. Wearing black shorts with red, weighing in at 8 stone 9 pounds 2 ounces, bringing to the ring a 35 fight record, 31 wins, 23 inside the distance with 4 defeats. The former European Super Bantamweight champion, the reigning, defending IBF Super Bantamweight champion of the world, from Alicante, España, La Sensación, Kiko Martinez. Referee in charge, Mr. Steve Gray.
And all that remains now, the final instructions from Mr. Gray. Kiko Martinez just removing his robe, and the last
Okay, boys,
to appear in the centre of the ring.
You must take one step back. Don't let any of your punches go down the back of the head. And most importantly, protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
So Carl Frampton has been working towards this moment for 5 years, dreaming of it for much, much longer. The rematch against Kiko Martinez. He's beaten him once before. Can he do it again with the ultimate prize at stake? It's Frampton against Martinez.
Round 1.
And they're underway, and Frampton virtually runs towards the centre of the ring to try to assert his authority straight away. He had a very good first round in their opening opening contest 19 months ago along the river at the Odyssey Arena. The first punch is a winging punch from Martinez. Good work to the body though in reply from Frampton as the two men stand in the centre of the ring, pawing with their left hands, looking for openings as the tumultuous ovation continues for Frampton. An uppercut from Martinez. Frampton steps away out of range. He boxed for a lot of the first fight on the back foot using the periphery of the ring, very close to the ropes. This time he's on the front foot, maybe trying to force Martinez back. The feeling being in the camp that Martinez is so strong going forward, not nearly so clever going backwards. Almost a minute completed in the opening round in this heady atmosphere here on the banks of the river where the Titanic was launched over a century ago. Good jab again from Frampton, trying to find his range from long range. He throws a right hand, misses with a left uppercut, but he's been the busier of the two over the course of the first 1 minute and 15 seconds. He gets through with a right hand, then a left hook towards the gloves of Martinez, and then Frampton steps away, out of range, out of any possible range of a counter-attack from Martinez, who hasn't been driving forward like he so often does. Jab gets through from Frampton. The right hand is too long, and it whistles past the top of the shaven head of Kiko Martinez, who at 28 is 1 year older, but much more experienced as a professional. An exchange of jabs from the two men in the centre of the ring. Frampton, though, is sharper with his left-hand lead, and he's getting through. It's only just really grazing the top of the head of Martinez, but it is scoring. He hasn't really hurt his man at this stage, but they're both just finding their way around the ring, warming into the fight on a breezy, almost chilly evening here in Belfast. Right hand over the top from Martinez, taken on the shoulder by Frampton, who moves around towards his left, looking to find punching room again. And as Martinez gets set to mount an attack, so Frampton steps back and pings him with a jab. Short, sharp jab. Again, Frampton sees the right hand coming, although Martinez got through with a second, scrappier right hand after that. Frampton steps back, though, out of range. He's pawing with the left hand. He's keeping Martinez distracted and keeping his mind occupied the whole time. The left hand drops every now and again from Frampton. It's almost inviting a right hand over from Martinez, but it's Frampton who gets through with the right hand and draws a roar of approval from the crowd. Martinez almost lunges in with a left hook as if to try to land something solid for the first time in the round. Closing seconds of the first round. Left-right combination from Frampton land on the already reddened face of the champion, who's making the third defence of this title, the IBF Super Bantamweight crown. Right hand towards the body of Martinez at the end of the round, lands only on the elbows of Carl Frampton. Tony Bellew, world title challenger at light heavyweight and now moved up to cruiserweight, is with me at ringside. Confident start by Frampton.
It was a very, very good start, Mike. For me, Carl took the centre of the ring. Kiko seems a little bit wary of engaging with Carl. Carl is landing stiff, hard jabs. Kiko's nose looks a little bit reddened also. What will play a factor in this fight for me is the gloves. Everybody will not really know this, but Kiko is wearing Mexico raised gloves, which are known to soften later in fights. They will create damage to the eyes, maybe cause cuts. Carl is wearing the puncher's glove, in my opinion, the harder, more torque cut glove in the Grant glove. This is going to be a fascinating fight for me. That's a big first round for Carl.
10 seconds.
Insight from the man who's taken it on the chin, Tony Bellew, about the gloves there and the difference they could make as we move into the later stages if we get there. Confident start by Carl Frampton, winner of the first round on our cards. Martinez bounds off his stool in towards the centre of the ring, but walks only into a jab, although the Spaniard lands a good jab but takes a much stronger left hook from Frampton. Good work by Frampton there, solid work, good timing with the left hook. He pours out with a jab now, throws the jab, but that's taken on the right glove, the black glove worn by Martinez. Black shorts also with red trims. He steps forward again, the Spaniard, but Frampton likewise just moves back, takes a step back almost 6 inches or so out of range of those punches. Good left hook from Martinez, gets through though as he slipped inside the jab of Frampton. Frampton responded with two short, sharp punches of his own. Martinez grabs Frampton and drags him back onto the ropes and pushes him away there as he gets him onto the ropes. It's untidy up close, and that's where Martinez wants the bulk of the action to happen. That's where he feels he can hold sway. A minute gone in the second round. Frampton in the centre of the ring, lands with a jab. Martinez tried to counter with a right hand over the top, but Frampton got there first. Sharper jab, right hand from Frampton, then a left hook to the body. 2-3 punches to the head, but they were all taken on the gloves by Martinez. Busier work from Frampton, but Martinez has landed a couple of solid shots in the early stages of the round. Pile driving left hook to the body from Frampton gets through, and he dances back out of distance as Martinez goes towards the torso with a right hand. Wings in Martinez with a left hook, misses by a long way. Frampton tries to make him pay, but Frampton is a bit untidy as well. The two men pound away to the body, and now Frampton takes a left hook to the chin. A right hand also gets through from Martinez, and they're standing and trading now in the second round. A minute and 15 seconds to go, and already it's becoming every bit as lively as the first contest 19 months ago. Frampton with a couple of jabs, but Martinez comes back at him. Those steely eyes staring at the gloves of Frampton. Martinez wants to make him miss and then step in and make him pay for that miss. But at this stage, Frampton is trying to keep it at long range. An exchange of jabs. Frampton tried a right hand afterwards, but that's only landed on the left glove of Martinez, who seems to be much more composed in this second round. 40 seconds to go before the bell. Another sharp jab from Frampton, although he isn't stepping in behind it, he's landing short of the target. Tries a right hand, good right hand from Frampton, and a second one, just deflected slightly by the glove. A lovely left hook from Frampton, and a second one as Martinez comes in with his head down, boring his way in almost Bernard Hopkins style, but he took a couple of solid left hooks from Carl Frampton, who's been timing that particular punch very well over the course of the first 6 minutes. Exchange of jabs, both men get through, perhaps the slightly stiffer one from Martinez, still driving forward after his man. We're moving much more towards the pattern now of the first fight as Martinez lands another jab. That was a much closer round. Tony Bellew, how did you see it?
That was a closer round. I still think Frampton edged it for the cleaner shots and the harder punching, but Kiko is just fractionally getting closer with that right hand. The thing that I'm looking at now is that Carl is seeming to land hard shots and Kiko's feeling them. I'm 100% convinced that Kiko was actually slightly hurt in that round from a big Carl right hand. Carl, for me now, has got to stay calm. The thing about Carl is really good so far is that he seems very calm in the exchanges. He's picking the right hand perfect, and he's coming out with tight hands. It's imperative that the left hand must be a little bit more higher though on the way out, because that's the only danger for me so far.
But certainly signs that Kiko Martinez is tighter than he was in the first fight. He hasn't been charging forward as recklessly as he did. Tony Bellew was saying to us in the build-up that he felt maybe Martinez underestimated Frampton. Not this time.
Seconds out, round 3.
So we move into the third round. The second round was a close one, but we gave it narrowly to Carl Frampton, and that means on our cards he's won both the first 2 rounds. A good start, a confident start, and a lively start, but Martinez is right there with him, and this has been very closely contested. The two men once again are in the centre of the ring. It's a slightly different tempo and pattern to the first fight, when Frampton spent most of the early stages of the contest on the periphery of the ring, inviting almost Martinez forward and trying to make the Spaniard commit mistakes. Now Martinez it is who quite often dances away on the back foot. This is a distinct change of tactics. Right hand and a left hook from Frampton get through. He tries to follow up, but Martinez seems to have taken them well. Slips inside a jab, the Spaniard, and lands a nice left uppercut towards the belt area. So low it was that the referee asked Martinez to keep those punches up, but he drives forward, tries a couple of left hooks, big right hand to the body from Martinez, and now Frampton tries to work away in the centre of the ring. A right uppercut, a left uppercut, another right hand to the body. The two men hold on in a maul in the centre of the ring. Steve Gray, the referee, is prepared to let them work away. Just slaps one of the arms of Frampton, says break it free and work away, punch away. And this is where Martinez likes it, in a slugfest in the centre of the ring. It suits him. Frampton needs to step off and just give himself some punching room. He's leaning down towards his man. There's very little between them in terms of height and reach. Very little in terms of advantage or disadvantage on either side. Very similar in stature, very different in terms of experience. Martinez has been a pro for 10 years, exactly twice as long as the man who's challenging him tonight, and a lovely right hand from Frampton gets through, and just for a moment Martinez is staggered, but just as quickly the Spaniard comes straight back into the fray. That's the resilience of a champion. Straight back at his man, and he throws a right hand to the body as Frampton tries to move away. And now the crowd are really beginning to try to get behind their man as Martinez drives forward. Lovely combination of straight punches from Frampton over on the far side of the ring. Opened up beautifully with a left-right, left uppercut, and Martinez had no answer to that. He's so strong up close, but at mid-range and long range, Frampton has his number at this stage. 35 seconds to go in the third round. Martinez gets through with a right hand over the top of the left hand again, as Frampton just gets a little bit complacent and just a bit untidy. Frampton steps off on the ropes on the right-hand side, close to us and close to Martinez's corner, the red corner. Martinez lunges in with an uppercut. Frampton sees it coming, steps back out of range and makes him miss by a long way. Now Martinez comes forward with a jab, but Frampton pings in a right hand over the top. Again, wonderfully timed as Frampton moves towards his own corner, far side of the ring. Still Martinez is looking for those successes, wondering how he can break down the Northern Irishman now. And we'll hear from Tony Bellew in just a moment, but let's head to the tennis at Russell Fuller in New York.
Roger Federer on the ropes. He trails Marin Cilic by 2-0, and the Croatian, who was a breakdown in the third set, is now a break-up. He leads 4-3. If he can hold serve twice, we'll have a Grand Slam final without Federer, Djokovic or Nadal for the first time since January 2005.
Thank you, Russell. Here, the bookmaker's favourite seems to be in charge. Tony Bellew, how did you have that third round?
I've had Carl winning the game, but like I say, these rounds are getting closer now because Kiko is getting closer. He's finding his own shots through. The thing is, Carl's landing the better, cleaner, harder shots, but Kiko's work rate is having a factor in this fight. I just feel Carl needs to tighten up the defence a little bit more, and he'll be fine. I just think he looks technically superior to Kiko.
Seconds out, round 4.
So into the second quarter of the contest of what has been a tumultuous night so far here in Belfast, and Martinez has an early success in the fourth round with a clubbing right hand over the top of the low left hand of Carl Frampton. Frampton there starting confidently, but maybe with an edge of complacency, and he was made to pay right at the start of the round. Martinez tries to lunge in with a left to the body, but he takes a left hook to the head. He was slightly off balance, almost reeled back, not because of the power of the punch, but because he hadn't planted his feet correctly. Half a minute gone in round 4. A quieter start to this round than the previous round. Right hand from Frampton gets through, but it was deflected by the glove of Martinez, and so he took a little bit of the power away. Another right hand from Frampton lands, and then a left hook as Martinez still tries to work away to the body, maybe trying to tire his man in the later rounds with those body punches. Another right hand to the body from Martinez. That was solid. He stepped away as if to admire his work, but he takes a crunching right hand from Frampton on the chin. Left hook from Martinez gets through. Martinez has taken some solid shots here in the course of the first 3.5 rounds, but he's taken them well, and he comes back almost immediately from the big shots. Right uppercut towards the bottom of the ribcage of Frampton, and then Frampton responds with a similar shot of his own, and a left hand high on the chin of Martinez. Beautiful work by Frampton. He opens up again, 3 punches in the centre of the ring. A jab from Frampton, missed with the overhand right as Martinez comes back with a jab to the body. Martinez drives Frampton towards Martinez's own corner, just above us here at ringside. Good body punches going in again from the Spaniard. The champion in his third defence of the title takes another jab. His bald head is rocked back by a lovely short, sharp punch from Frampton, but body work is strong from Martinez. He has been getting through on both sides of Frampton's ribcage here as we move to the last minute of the fourth round. Martinez leans down onto the left leg, gets set to throw a left hook to the body, but he's beaten to the thought by Frampton, who stepped away out of range. Frampton flicks out a jab, again a right hand over the top, almost a dangerous clash of heads, but Frampton steps away and just avoids that danger. Slips inside Martinez's jab and throws a lovely left hook to the body. Beautiful, classy counter-punching from Frampton, who steps away out of range once he's done that work. Flicks out a jab and a second one, and both of them land. A third one, not so hard, also pierces the two single-handed black glove defense of Martinez. Right hand just grazes the left ear of Martinez. It was aimed at the chin, but Martinez just tried to move his head and caught only a flicker at the punch. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head then from Martinez. Two shots on the left-hand side from Martinez getting through. He steps off, tries to make Frampton miss. The two men virtually fall into the ropes just above us here. Still no signs of panic in the Spaniard's corner, even though you get the sense he is starting to fall behind on points. And there's the bell to end round number 4, Tony Bellew.
Martinez is now cut over the left eye. He has a nasty cut over the left eye just on the eyelid. So this looks like this could be a big factor in the fight. For me, that was Carl Frampton's best round. I think that it was definitely caused by a head clash. Yes, the referee is signalling the cut was caused by a head clash. For me now, this is a big factor in the fight. For me, that was Carl Frampton's best round also, but they're working hard on this, on the cut to the left eye for Kiko Martinez.
Referee Steve Gray is just having a word over in the corner that the cut was caused by an accidental clash of heads. That could be significant if that means the fight has to be stopped at some later stage, because it will go to the scorecards as they stand at the point the fight is stopped. And they're working ferociously on that cut here, and they're going to have to be very adept at it if he is to get through another 8 completed rounds. There's no question that it was caused by a clash of heads. As we now move into the 5th round. On our card, Frampton has the lead, but still no place for complacency here against a man who's won the title in the United States and defended it in Japan. Solid form, very few have won in both of those countries. Left-right combination from Frampton, although Frampton takes a strong jab and replies with a beautiful counter right hand of his own. Left-right from Frampton. Martinez tries to work away to the body. It gets scrappy, but Frampton gives himself some punching room, and he goes down, he slips on some surface water, and Martinez tries to hit him with a dipping right hand as he was kneeling on the canvas. Referee Steve Gray calls a timeout now. Is he going to deduct a point? No, he's not. He gives him a warning, and he's explaining that Carl Frampton slipped on the canvas here. Martinez knew that. A man of his experience definitely knew that, and he tried to take advantage. And that's not the spirit of a fighting man. And now Steve Gray is also having a word here with Carl Frampton, and it's time in once again. Lively start here, and that really has roused the crowd here. They're getting behind their man. They want to see Northern Ireland's latest world champion crowned here in this ring here this evening on what could be a famous night of boxing, another one of them in Belfast, with Frampton's mentor and manager Barry McGuigan responsible for so many of them even before he became world champion. Over on the far side of the ring, Martinez is trying to make this dirty, and the referee Steve Gray now calls the two men in and tells them to watch their heads, to punch rather than use their heads to try to inflict the damage. The worst of the damage so far has been sustained by Martinez, who has a cut above the left eye, and it's a significant cut, although they seem in his corner to have stemmed the flow of blood at this stage. Martinez tries a right hand over the top. He's fought with another right hand from Frampton, but he makes Frampton miss with the left hook. Again, it's getting untidy, it's getting ugly, and this is a test of a different kind for Carl Frampton here, especially up close, as he tries to step away and give himself some punching room. Martinez beats him to the jab there with a minute to go in round number 5. Frampton tries a right hand, missed the first one, landed the second one, clicks out a jab. Martinez has got a real urgency about his work here, as if he thinks that cut might force a stoppage later in the contest, and he'll need to close down the deficit on points. Right hand to the body from Martinez does get through. Sporadic success in this round for Martinez, and still he virtually runs after Frampton, who's on the periphery of the ring. He's over in the blue corner, his own corner, far side of the ring, and now steps away as Martinez mounts yet another attack on the front foot. Frampton paws with a left hand, pings in a big right hand, follows up with a left hook high on the head. Inside the final 30 seconds of round 5, and what a contest, and a right hand over the top from Carl Frampton, and Kiko Martinez is down, and it was almost a carbon copy of the punch that knocked him out 19 months ago just along the river. And once again Martinez is stunned. He goes down, he takes a count, a big right hand again from Frampton. Closing seconds of round 5, can he finish it off? He takes a jab, left right from Frampton, another right hand. Martinez comes after him once again. Has he had time to
heavy knockdown there. Martinez felt the right hand, he walked onto it square on, and he felt the full blunt of Carl Frampton's power there. For me, Martinez is in trouble here. Like you said before, Mike, it was a carbon copy of the first knockdown, the first time these guys fought. Martinez cannot seem to inflict any kind of damage on Carl when he gets into range, and Carl is firing short all the time. As we say, oh, it's a heavy knockdown, it's a right hand straight to the side of the jaw, and as I say, he walks straight onto a Kiko Martinez. In deep trouble here, but the main thing for Carl is now, don't get drunk on your own success.
Well, big surprise at the US Open tennis. Marian Cilic has beaten Roger Federer. More details out on that later, but here the favourite very much on top.
Second time, line 6.
Well, Kiko Martinez now being challenged by Carl Frampton and 16,000 others here who are dreaming of the crowning of another world champion. A brilliant right hand from Frampton towards the end of the 5th round. Dumped Martinez onto the canvas. Can now Frampton follow up? He has to take his time and wait for those openings. Was 60 seconds enough time for respite for Martinez? A left hook from Frampton gets through once again. He times it beautifully. Tries a right hand over the top. A left right this time and a left hook. And there's almost a squint in the eyes of Martinez as he takes a couple of heavy shots once again from Frampton, who's boxing with a real buoyancy here and a real confidence, bouncing up on his toes, stepping back, giving himself punching room, makes Martinez miss with a left hook, and standing well within punching range now is Frampton, leaning over a wide stance over his left leg, almost motioned to throw a right hand there, but it was a feint, and he flicked out a couple of jabs instead, and both landed on the Spaniard's chin. Again, the face is reddened as some of that blood from the cut above his left eye, Martinez, starts to splatter around his face, and he lands a jab onto the chin of Frampton as Frampton just got a bit untidy on the way in, but Frampton landed again with another right hand. He's found the room and the timing with that right hand time and time again, having knocked him down in the 5th round. 3-4 jabs from Frampton, misses this time with the right hand, covers up though from any potential counter-attack from Martinez, who's still trying, who's still producing that resilient aggression all the time, trying to cut off the ring space as Frampton moves onto the ropes directly above us here. We could almost lean out and touch the tassels on his boots as he moves away around to his left, and he's chased as ever by Martinez. A quieter round this for Frampton. He's waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the opening, for another one of those big right hands, or perhaps a left hook. He leans in with a right hand, lands with a jab, but Martinez also landed with a jab of his own. 45 seconds to go in round 6. Terrific right hand followed by a left hook from Frampton. He really has found the timing. Right hand, straight jab this time from Frampton. He's varying the punishment that he's delivering here to Martinez. And Martinez here is being made at times to look second rate, even though he is the champion. And still though, the bravery takes him after Frampton, trying to close down the gap. He's trying to make Frampton miss. He did there, landed a right hand to the body and then a lighter right hand to the chin. Frampton there allowing Martinez rare successes as a trickle of blood appears again by the left eye of Martinez because a right hand pounded off the top of his head from Frampton, who is finding the range time and time again here. Frampton steps off, right hand to the body, left hook to the head, right hand to the head again. Lovely cluster from Frampton at the end of the 6th round. Still totally in control. Briefly, Russell Fuller at the tennis.
First, Kei Nishikori, now Marin Cilic. He's knocked out Roger Federer 6-3, 6-4, 6-4, finishing with an ace, an ace, an ace, and a backhand winner down the line. Extraordinary day in New York.
Thank you, Russell. Tony Bellew, your thoughts at halfway?
He's won a game, Mike. He's winning every round, and he's winning them clearly for me. Now, Martinez is struggling with the power of Carl Frampton. As I said, all Carl has to do is stay switched on, remain focused, and just continue to dictate the pace of this fight. He cannot get caught up in Kiko Martinez's antics. The biggest thing now is Martinez seems to be complaining to the ref at times, and that's a bad sign for Kiko Martinez and a great sign for Carl Frampton.
Second strike, line 7.
So into the second half of the contest. Will it go all the way? Last time round, Frampton finished the job in the 9th round with a crisp, clinical right hand. He landed a very similar shot in the 5th round here, if you just joined us, and had Martinez on the canvas. And we've got Frampton winning comfortably here. He's in control pretty much on the back foot most of the time, allowing Martinez at times to come forward, but also leading off Frampton much more than he did in their first contest. Exchange of jabs almost in the centre of the ring. A better jab from Martinez got through. A rare occasion in which he beats Frampton for speed. The two men are in the centre of the ring. Their left feet almost colliding. Good jab again from Martinez as Frampton just takes evasive action by dancing away towards his left. Tries a right hand over the top. Left right from Frampton. Then another left hand. Didn't land with the venom of earlier on in the contest. Makes Martinez miss with a left hook. But Martinez is still winging away, and he is wide open to a right uppercut on the way in. Frampton had success with that punch in the first fight, but has hardly thrown it at all so far in this particular contest. He spent much more time on the front foot in this contest. The two men again land jabs almost simultaneously, and then Frampton is the first to back off. They stand in front of each other sparring, and Frampton takes a left hook and just reels away out of danger. He was as much off balance as hurt, and he lands a crisp right hand of his own over the top. But Martinez gets through with a left hook, then a jab and a right hand to the body, and some success here for Martinez like he hasn't had in the contest so far. Repeated success he hasn't had, and we're into the 7th round now. And is there still plenty to come from Kiko Martinez, the man who recovered 6 months after defeat by Frampton to win the world title, the title he's defending for the 3rd time here this evening. Frampton tries a right hand. He missed with that, but landed with a jab as Martinez made his way in. Martinez got through with another jab. Right hand over the top from Martinez, then a left hook. He holds down the head of Martinez. Referee Steve Gray warns him for use of the elbow in pushing down the head of the challenger Frampton. 2 jabs again from Martinez, and all the time he's driving forward, all the time looking to make Frampton miss and in some way try to make him pay. Good left hook to the body from Frampton. Solid body shot right beneath the rib cage of Martinez. But again, the Spaniard, the champion, takes it really well, but a right hand from Frampton gets through and just stops Martinez in his tracks for the first time in the round. And then another lovely left hook from Carl Frampton. He switches to the southpaw stance, tries a 3-punch cluster that ended with a right uppercut, but they all missed. And now he turns back to the orthodox stance. They're piling away, punching away on the ropes just above us here at ringside. The two men here are giving this everything, and Martinez is still very much in the contest as he wipes away some blood from the cut above his left eye. And that was a much more difficult round, and we're going to head over now to the corner here for the first time this evening from Shane McGuigan.
Right? Yeah. See it? It's good. You've got to be a bit quicker pulling that trigger, right? You feel good?
Yeah.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Everything's looking good, mate, right? But you've got to pull that trigger a bit quicker, right?
Yeah.
He's plodding, right? Yeah. So pull the trigger, get your feet going, pull it again, okay?
So Shane McGuigan saying Tony Bellew has got to pull the trigger quicker, get off quicker, and he thinks that Martinez is plodding.
I think that was Martinez's best round, but I still think it was really, really close. It's one of them that can go either way. Like I say, Martinez's pressure, he's getting closer to Carl now. He seems to be landing a bit more. But once again, Carl always lands the harder, more telling shots in the round. I haven't seen once where Kiko's got Carl's respect yet. And for me, Carl is hitting Kiko every time he hits him clean, Mike.
Second side, line in.
So round 7, perhaps the closest of the contest, and referee Steve Gray just calls a timeout because he wants some surface Vaseline or grease removed from that cut above the left eye. The corner obviously trying to give him as much protection as they can. They've done well so far to stem the flow of blood and to allow their man to reach this 8th round of the contest. We're coming towards the completion of the second third of the contest, and it's been a hard night. Both men conceded that each other was the hardest man they faced after that first fight down the riverside. A crunching right hand from Martinez gets through, but Frampton takes it well and comes back with a cluster of 5 or 6 punches. He's the challenger, but that was a champion's response. He tries an uppercut in between the 2 black gloves of Martinez. It doesn't get through, it doesn't pierce the gloves. Martinez pounds away to the body, lands a left hook and then a right hand flicks off to the ropes, far side of the ring, and now they punch away toe-to-toe. Frampton steps to the right towards his own corner, but there's no escape route because Martinez just keeps pounding away, throwing hooks to the body, hooks to the head. There is no resting time for Frampton here because every time he's mounting an attack of his own, so Martinez comes straight back at him, apart from that one brief moment in the 5th round when Martinez was down. Terrific right hand from Carl Frampton at that stage, but Martinez is getting closer and closer to him over the course of the 7th round he did, and he's had a good start to the first half of this, the 8th round, with a couple of very solid punches. But this time Frampton is the one who lands with a left-right over on the far side of the ring. Frampton leans down, boxing almost out of a crouch now, keeping Martinez guessing the whole time. Once again there's a trickle of blood from that cut above the left eye of Martinez, but luckily for him it's running down the side of his face and not into the left eye, and so his vision isn't blurred and isn't deterred by that particular blemish. And he goes after his man again. 2 jabs from Frampton land solidly as the crowd once again try to get behind their man in this, the 8th round, inside the final minute of the round. Frampton throws a couple of jabs, but he can't keep Martinez at bay, although he lands a stiff jab. Martinez looked as though he was on unsteady legs, but he was more off balance as he drove in and tried to get so close to Frampton to do more damage than he's been able to do in the contest so far. Good start to the round from Martinez, but Frampton is trying to work his way back in, but Martinez lands a solid jab. We see the head of Frampton rocking back. Another right hand from Frampton gets through. He's been landing time and time again with that right hand during the contest, but most of the time Martinez has taken it and taken it well. Martinez comes after him again, lands a jab, beats Frampton to it this time. Frampton tries a left uppercut to the torso, flicks out a jab on the end of that left uppercut. Beautiful work from Frampton. He reels away, sways and bobs and weaves on the ropes on the far side, and Martinez is made to miss, but the Spaniard comes straight back with a couple of jabs of his own. Frampton onto the back foot, the bell sounds at the end of the 8th round. Martinez gets a cheeky one in just after the bell, and that again was a pretty close round.
For me, Mike, I know it sounds strange, but that's the clearest round, and I've got to give that round to Kiko Martinez. He applied all the front foot pressure, and he seemed to land quite a few hard shots on the inside too. I'm starting to think that maybe Carl's tactics might be now in the corner, have a couple of rounds off, and let's finish big, because he's won so many of the early rounds. He's also scored the knockdown. I feel like Carl might be having a little bit of a dull period now, save a few reserves for a big late onslaught in the fight. I can see Martinez walking onto another right hand because now he's getting closer, and his punches don't seem to affect Carl, but he is getting through with them.
Enough to suggest it's a turning point?
No, I wouldn't suggest that much. I really wouldn't. I just think he's had a good round. Carl's maybe had a round off to see where it goes stamina-wise.
Second fight, round 9.
So a fascinating prospect here over the course of the final 4 rounds. We've got Frampton well clear at this stage, but just signs in the last couple of rounds that Martinez is really getting into a groove here. Although Frampton lands a solid jab at the start of this, the 9th round. Moves left, moves right, flicks out a couple of jabs. Again, keeps Martinez guessing, keeps his mind occupied, and that was what brought Frampton so much success early on. And Frampton has started much more brightly at the beginning of this round. As a jab from Martinez just grazes the top of the head of Frampton, and Frampton covers up inside and tries to work away. Now it looks as though there might be a blemish on the right-hand side of the face of Frampton, but that might be some blood that's travelled there from the left-hand side of the face of Martinez. We'll wait to see as Frampton's got his back to us, or his side to us at the moment. When he turns face on, we'll get a better clue. Right hand and a left hand from Frampton from mid-range. Beautiful sharp work and a right hand as Martinez again just came boring forward with the head. He took a really beautiful, well-timed, precise right hand from Frampton, who's on the ropes just above us here. Moves to the left, moves to the right, all the time, making Martinez really work for the openings. Another right hand, then a jab from Frampton. He really has come back into the contest. After a good round for Martinez in the 8th, Frampton get himself back on top here, although Martinez drives him back to the ropes and does land with a right hand, but a better right hand from Frampton gets through. Left hook from Frampton bounces off the head of Martinez, but still the Spaniard just comes back for more and punches to the potentially a left hook from Martinez. The Spaniard lands with a right hand to the body, takes a left-right combination from Frampton to the head. The two men land with jabs. The smarter one, the harder one, came from Frampton. He flicks it out once again. 50 seconds to go in round number 9. Frampton dances in with a jab, tries a right hand, switches on to the back foot once again. He's close to Martinez's own corner, whips in a right hand, moves away as Martinez tries to throw a right hand to the body. Jab from Frampton gets through. A fairly wild right hand didn't. He's made to miss. The head of Frampton now and the face are severely reddened also. This is a punishing contest, and there are still 20 seconds to go in round number 9 and potentially 3 more rounds after this. This is a hard night, but that's what world title fights are about. Questions are being asked about the temperament here of Frampton, who gets through with another right hand, and for a moment Martinez is stopped in his tracks, but only a moment, because almost immediately he gets onto the front foot again and drives Martinez back to the ropes, and Martinez has the last punch and the last success of round number 9. What a comeback for Carl Frampton.
He's come back into this a little bit, but I'll be honest, Mike, I gave that round to Martinez again. The thing for me now, and I'm starting to realise, is the body onslaught that he put into the fight early on is starting to take effect now on Carl Frampton. He's throwing less, and the power seems to be reduced by a fair amount, and Martinez seemed to be walking through the power shots. I haven't seen him stopped in his track once in that last round, and for me it is getting closer now, because that is a definite round for Martinez in my opinion. Carl has to now maybe stand his ground. I think he has to hurt Martinez again and make him an honest man again in that ring, because he is as tough as old boots. Martinez has taken everything in this fight, and for me, Carl's power seems to be dwindling down slightly now.
So very briefly, Tony, how have you got it after 9 rounds?
I have Carl still ahead and quite in a handy lead, to be honest, but this is a close contest, and at this moment still in the balance.
6 rounds to 3 on Tony Bellew's card, but remember, one of those rounds included a knockdown, so that in effect gives him an extra round's advantage. A right hand from Frampton lands at the start of this, the 10th round, but a similar shot lands from Martinez. Still all to play for here over the course of the final 3 rounds, the final 9 minutes, and there is a real urgency about the movement of Martinez, both in terms of the feet movement and the head movement, and he drives in again, punches away towards the body. Frampton is forced to stand his ground and now tries to drive the Spaniard back towards the centre of the ring. Is Frampton tiring, or is he here just trying to have successes in spasms and then move away out of danger to try to keep control and protect the lead that he built up in the early rounds? Those early rounds, as Tony Bellew was saying, in which Martinez was trying to land to the body and did have some successes. A left hand gets through from Frampton, but again Martinez takes it, almost ignoring it, and grabs his man and tries to work inside. Martinez lands with the jab, although Frampton gets through with what looked like a stronger right hand. Frampton tries to open up with a cluster of uppercuts, neutral corner, far side of the ring, but all of them just bounced off the forearms of Martinez, who is so game here and so brave and still is working away. And this is a real test for Frampton, because Martinez is pounding away to the body and to the head, standing here, resting his head on the shoulder of Frampton, and at times resting his head on Frampton's head also, as the two men punch away here. At times they don't need a ring anything like this size. Right hand from Frampton gets through. Best success, cleanest punch from either man in the round so far. But again, it's Martinez who's first to come back. They stand virtually stock still now, waiting for the openings. Blood appears by the left eye once again of Martinez, who takes deep breaths now as he mounts his latest attack. Tries a right hand over the top. Frampton met him with a stiff jab and moves away out of range. Frampton now holds both gloves very high as he steps onto the ropes on the right hand side as we look, and he sways away from the waist. Beautiful defensive work from Frampton, makes Martinez miss, but Martinez regardless just keeps punching away here. Left hooks, right hooks, now a right hand and a left hook from Frampton get through, and then 2 straight punches. He tries a left hook, but he's driven back onto the ropes just above us, and you can really feel the hooks of Martinez pounding into the rib cage and the abdomen of Carl Frampton here. And there's a warning again from the referee for Martinez holding down and then punching while he holds Frampton down. Frampton again, the face getting ever redder, partly because of the blood that's being spread from the right eye. And now as Martinez claps his gloves to get us over, Frampton says, come on, let's go for it at the end of the 10th round, and let's go over once again now as we wait for Jimmy Tibbs to come into the corner to make good the cut on the right eye of Frampton. Let's hear what Shane McGuigan has to say.
Keep boxing distance when you can, all right? Every time you get out of break, all right, box him and then step, touch, give big round and step up on him, all right? And don't be in front of him, all right? Step round him with a little right hook.
So Tony Bellew, Shane McGuigan saying don't stand in front of him.
No, and he's perfectly right. You cannot afford to stand in front of Kiko Martinez. I feel he is getting to Carl with the body shot, but Carl is definitely still landing the harder shots. The big factor in this now is, can Carl stick with Kiko's inside work? Can he maintain the work rate? The cut seems to be a small factor in this fight now for Carl, because I don't think he's had to come through many cuts in his career. Carl needs to stay strong now. I got that last round to Carl, so I believe now Kiko Martinez needs a knockout to win this fight, in my opinion.
Round 11.
And we can be absolutely certain that Martinez won't stop trying to produce that, what would be a sensational result. And the crowd, there's a sense of urgency in the crowd as well, because they know that the Spaniard is trying to make this much closer. Yes, Frampton built up an early lead, but Martinez is driving forward. He puffs out his cheeks every time he gets set to mount an attack. And Frampton here is trying to measure his counter punches as Martinez steps in. A quieter start to this round by the Spaniard. He's trying to measure his attacks here with Frampton on the back foot. He's close to his own corner on the far side of the ring. Frampton misses with the right hand, also with the follow-up left uppercut towards the rib cage of Martinez. Martinez landed with a jab, but almost immediately Frampton responded with the same punch. And all of a sudden Martinez now is standing still in the centre of the ring. That driving force of his, just for the moment, has been stifled. Perhaps he too is starting to really feel the pace here as Frampton motions to go on the front foot, but he takes a big left hook from Martinez, and that will give Martinez real confidence here, and suddenly he bounces up onto his toes and goes after his man. But there's applause in Frampton's corner because he landed a stiff, short, sharp jab as Martinez there just dropped his hands and got a bit careless and got a bit reckless. The jab from Martinez is well read by Frampton, who throws a right hand over the top. Left hook from Martinez. Frampton just swivels underneath, bobs and weaves and makes the Spaniard miss. Grabs him now by the legs virtually as Steve Gray, the referee, steps in to separate them. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in round 11 of what's been a punishing yet pulsating contest here between two real warriors. Frampton now lands two successive overhand rights onto the chin of Frampton, and then a left hand. Solid single shots from Frampton here as Martinez just steps away, almost lost his balance as he clipped the referee's foot on his way out, but he comes straight back in. Wonderful single punches from Frampton in this round. He tries another one of those stiff jabs, flicks it out. Left-right combination from Frampton. Applause in his corner once again. And now he opens up with 3, 4, 5 shots in the centre of the ring. This is a masterclass all of a sudden from Frampton of straight punching, clinical punching. Martinez drives forward once again. Swellings appearing beneath both the Spaniard's eyes, but Frampton is in a groove here. He opened up with as many as 6 punches. At least half of them really got through strongly and effectively, and still Martinez tries to come forward. Frampton showing terrific stamina here. He's thrown an awful lot of heavy punches here, but he's still in this round in control. Forces Martinez back, and there was just an unsteadiness in the legs of Martinez, but he knows no other way but to come forward as the sweat from the head of the boxers bounces onto our microphones here at ringside. And what a round for Carl Frampton to reassert his authority on the contest with 1 round to go.
Exactly correct. He reinstated his authority on the contest. Martinez felt the power again. That's the first time for about 4 or 5 rounds I've seen Martinez clearly hurt there. He thought twice about going in. Carl's landed a good hard right hand. For me now, all as Carl has to do, stay on his feet, and he is the IBF champion of the world.
Do you get the sense that he might want to finish it in style? Is Martinez for the taking, or will he be told to go on the back foot and play it safe here?
If I was his coach personally, Mike, I would tell him to go out, skate around the ring, use your jab, stay out of range, don't get involved in nothing. You've got this contest sewn up. Martinez must be getting told in the corner he needs a knockout. He has to be getting told. The atmosphere in here is electric, and here we go for the 12th and final round.
Very few people remaining on their feet here on what's turning into a very special Belfast night of boxing. A special night for Northern Ireland boxing, and is this soon to be the coronation of their latest world champion with one of the greatest, Barry McGuigan, looking on at ringside on the far side of the ring. It's his protege about to emulate his feat in claiming the ultimate prize. He works away to the body. He takes a jab from Martinez though and steps away out of danger. Martinez clips him with an uppercut and then a left hook, but Frampton once again steps away, holds the gloves high. They've moved to the red corner just above us here. That's Martinez's corner. A winging left hook from Martinez. Frampton makes him miss and makes him pay with a right hand, and then a jab which rocks back the bald head of Martinez as the Spaniard just drives himself forward on instinct and nothing else at this stage. He's taken so many of those brilliantly precise single punches, and another one. 3-4 shots from Frampton now, and he drives Martinez back onto the ropes. Frampton opens up a cluster of 7-8 punches, and Martinez is forced to cover up. How much has the Spaniard got left? Frampton wants to win this in spectacular style. Barry McGuigan is on his feet. The whole crowd are on their feet, but somehow Martinez survives. Somehow Martinez bounds forward once again as the crowd shout easy, easy, and that has to be nothing more than a chorus of disrespect for the bravery of the world champion, who surely is about to lose his belt, who is still coming forward. And Frampton lands another big shot. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here in the final round, when Frampton has gone so close to finishing this inside the distance for the second time against Martinez. They're in the centre of the ring. It's quietened down slightly, but that lull for Martinez is only because Frampton is stepping off here to safeguard his victory. He's on the periphery of the ring now with his hands down, covers up as Martinez launches yet another attack. A swivel of the shoulders from Frampton. He's so confident now. He's up on the toes, jumps in with a left hand and a right hand, motions to go to the body, flicks out a jab and a left hook, steps back out of danger, makes Martinez miss. Brilliant finish this by Frampton inside the final half a minute. He covers up inside, he ducks low, punches to the body, opens out with another cluster as Martinez again tries to throw his own shots to the body. Right hand from Frampton gets through once again. Still Martinez is throwing back, finishing as he started, but so too is Frampton, on top with the better punching, the cleaner punching, and this has been a brilliant performance by Carl Frampton. And there goes the bell. Frampton raises both arms. He's lifted aloft by Shane McGuigan. It's another special night in Belfast. Hugs all around ringside because they know that Carl Frampton, just half a mile or so from where 20 years ago at the age of 7 he first walked into an amateur boxing club, has realised the dream by winning the ultimate prize, the world title. What a performance and what a night.
It's an absolutely fantastic night, a defining moment and a glorious moment for Carl Frampton. What a performance. He outmanned, he outfought, he outboxed Kiko Martinez. He was brilliant tonight. He really was, and to see him there in the ring, he must be with his daughter at the moment. It's fantastic. He has achieved the dream, as all boxers that we go through that we want to do. He has achieved the dream.
Yeah, this has really been the story of two families, the Framptons, his mum and dad, Flo and Craig are here, his wife Christine is here, Frampton as a Protestant married to a Catholic. His daughter Carla, 3 years of age, is here for the first time. She will soon be seeing Daddy crowned world champion as he leans through the ropes here. And I think he was just about to kiss his daughter. His wife is now making her way up onto the steps. She's been talking about what an ordeal it's been for her in the build-up to the contest here. And the other family, of course, involved, the McGuigans, Barry McGuigan, the chief executive of Cyclone Promotions, but much more importantly, the manager and the mentor of Carl Frampton, Shane McGuigan, the trainer, Jake and Blaine involved in the promotion. A story of two families, and it's been a story of success this evening, Tony Bellew.
It has, Mike, it really, really has, and I'm ecstatic for Carl Frampton. I really am. He deserves this. He's worked hard, and he's faced a champion there tonight, and a good champion in Kiko Martinez, somebody who's in exciting form, who's in very good form, coming off the back of 3 wins. He's defended his title away from home before. This is nothing that, you know, Kiko Martinez didn't expect tonight. He knew what he was going in with. He couldn't have possibly underestimated Carl Frampton tonight, but basically Carl was just too good for him. He was always a step behind Carl, technically, tactically. He just couldn't deal with Carl.
So Carl Frampton still taking the hugs and the plaudits from family and friends. He's now in a warm embrace with Barry McGuigan, and who knows, he may go on to emulate all the feats of McGuigan, and maybe even better. Alongside us is Dave McCauley, commentating for BBC Ulster. Here's the official verdict.
Referee Steve Gray brings the boxers together, and I'm sure you will agree, a fantastic contest, please, both boxers. So we go to our judges' scorecards, where both judges Mike Fitzgerald and Denny Nelson see this contest 119-108, and Judge Marcus McDonnell sees the contest 118-111. All in favour of the winner and the new IBF Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Carl the Jackal Frampton.
Well, he beat Kiko Martinez in style 19 months ago, and now he's done it with the world title at stake. Belfast celebrates, Northern Ireland celebrates, the United Kingdom can celebrate the crowning of another world champion. And this time, unlike the greeting he got when he came to the ring, there's warm applause for Kiko Martinez, who made Carl Frampton work for every minute of every round of that contest. But it's Carl Frampton who leads here tonight with the belt. Carl Frampton is the world champion.
He is, and it's fantastic to see. First of all, what a fight, Mike. It was a war from start to finish. Carl was so calculated. You can see they must have worked hours, weeks and months on that game plan, and it came to fruition tonight. Carl always was one step ahead. He judged the distance fantastic. Every time Kiko stepped in, he had the right hand straight in the direct line, and it nailed Kiko Martinez. But amongst all this, and it's fantastic to see, you have to give credit to Kiko Martinez tonight. He took absolutely everything Carl Frampton hit him with, and Carl Frampton is a world-class puncher, and Kiko Martinez took it tonight. He deserves an awful lot of credit, does that man, and the utmost respect, not just from fighters, but from everybody in this arena tonight. Kiko Martinez come here, he put it on the line. Okay, he came up short, but he deserves an awful lot of credit. He's a great fighter, and I'm sure he'll come again.
And we learned so much more about Carl Frampton this evening, and how much you need, how many different facets you need to become world champion.
Yes, you do. You know, you've got to have numerous game plans, and you've got to do well. He done absolutely fantastic tonight, and you know, Carl's shown so many different sides to his game tonight. He showed fantastic on the back foot. His counter punching was second to none tonight. That's how he scored the knockdown. Very similar to the first fight, but tonight he was clinical. At times he boxed when he needed to box. He fought when he needed to fight, and he just used, you know, ring generalship tonight. Impressed me an awful lot. Like I say, he brought Kiko Martinez to him, but he also dictated when Kiko Martinez threw punches, and that for me is the most impressive thing. Like I say, he dictated when he punched, and he also dictated when Kiko Martinez punched. This is just unbelievable scenes here tonight in Belfast. These people have got to be reminded of when Barry was coming here doing his thing that he done, and You know, it's great to see young trainers like Shane McGuigan getting the plaudits tonight. Barry's took, you know, an awful lot on board here, and it's fantastic to see, you know, really, really great things.
Yes, the two men, Barry McGuigan and Carl Frampton, champions past and present, are sitting on the ringside. We hope to get a word with the new champion very shortly, but what a special night this has been. And Tony Bellew, this is why men like you are involved in this sport, because these are the moments that you dream of, you work so hard for so long. This is the ultimate goal. You know, we're sitting here and, you know, Carl has achieved his ultimate dream here. He really, really has. You know, he's pointing there to his hand that they seem very, very sore. Listen, he'll take sore hands all day, because when he wakes up in the morning, he's going to be having that IBF championship belt round his waist. And like I say, he's achieved a lifelong goal here tonight, and I can't speak highly enough of him. He's been absolutely fantastic, and he's done the job that he set out to do. When you first get into boxing, every kid's dream is to become world champion, and very, very few get to do it. Carl Frampton has lived the dream, and he's world champion. Two judges gave Martinez only one round. We gave him 2 rounds apiece, as did one of the judges. But I thought one of the elements that was impressive, Tony, was that when Martinez just threatened to get back in the contest and maybe won those 2 rounds in a row, Frampton got straight back on top. That's the sign of a champion. Like I said, he had a couple of rounds off, and I think, like I said earlier, I think that was just to say, I'm going to finish big. I'm having a couple of rounds rest. I've had a big start. I've knocked you down. I'm miles ahead on the cards. Okay, let's have a couple of rounds off, and then we'll go hell for leather in the last few rounds. And he done exactly as I anticipated what he'd do. Them 2 rounds off, and then he was absolutely outstanding for the last 3 rounds. He was actually on the verge there of maybe even stopping Kiko Martinez again. I thought he would do in the last round, didn't you? Yeah. Kiko Martinez was out on his feet, and I predicted that he'd come out and box and use the range, use the lateral movement, like he'd done all night. But Carl, the Jackal Frampton, he only knows one way, and that's fight, and Cole's just showing tonight. He was outstanding. Like I say, it's a great achievement, not only for Carl and for Barry and for Shane, but it's a great achievement for Irish boxing. It just shows, you know, how great the boxing is and the tradition over here, how good it is. Just look at this stadium. It's fantastic. Amazing. And I was saying during the week, Tony, that this struck me, you know, we're watching Barry McGuigan being interviewed there at ringside, and all the parallels have been drawn and comparisons between Carl Frampton and Barry McGuigan. But I've been getting a sense here this week about this could be the breakout for Carl Frampton, in the way that Ricky Hatton first became big in Manchester, then across the UK, and then globally, and that kind of ripple effect as it spreads out across the country. Well, the thing with Carl Frampton is, and I'll be the first to say, he does have crossover appeal. So he's potentially, you know, he could go mainstream, he really is. He's already crossed over in Ireland. He's massive here. He's loved. Look at this crowd. I mean, you know, to box in your 19th fight for a world title, be victorious on your home ground in front of 16,000 people is an outstanding achievement. I'm sure Barry will now have plans to maybe look at some of the other champions. I know there's Leo Santa Cruz out there, and there is other fighters. You know, you've got the absolutely outstanding and fantastic Guillermo Rigondeaux, but let's just savour the moment here. Carl Frampton has become world champion in Belfast in front of 16,000 loyal fans, and this is his time, nobody else's. So we should concentrate fully now on Carl Frampton and give him the plaudits he deserves, because he took a risk tonight. He really did, and it's paid off, but it's still a risk, and he's also shown us different sides of his game tonight, Mike. Yeah, and I thought the way he got on top in the early stages and decided to take centre of the ring and didn't move off as maybe Martinez would expect him to do, like he did in the first fight. I thought that was very clever. It was, and he changed tactics throughout the fight. He really did. You know, he done different things in the fight. Like I say, he started quick. He made it work for him early on. He done in the first fight, when the first time they boxed, it was all Kiko pressuring and getting close, and this time Carl let him get close, but he stung him really hard, and Kiko was very wary of working too much early on. He also went the body an awful lot. Carl, you know, defense was good tonight. He didn't really take much in the facial wise early on in the first 6 rounds. After that, he then started coming into it, and like I say, I think the cutters, both of these guys got cut, so showed, you know, tremendous character to come through that. But
Carl's tactics tonight were just outstanding. Like I say before, he boxed when he needed to box, he fought when he needed to fight, and he used the ring laterally fantastic tonight. He was just, I can't praise him enough, he was fantastic.
Well, Stephen Nolan, this is a night that 16,000 people will never forget, and luckily we're among them.
Well, absolutely, Mike, and just to hear the home turf there, the atmosphere sounds electric, Mike. I take it is.
And it was building, because as myself and Tony have just been saying, there was just a brief period around rounds 7 and 8 when it looked as though Martinez might be just edging his way back into the contest, and so there was just a sense of concern, even urgency in the crowd. And then suddenly the next round Frampton got back on top, and that's when the long 9-minute celebration began. And then that gusto in the last round, brilliant salvo on the ropes from Carl Frampton, very nearly finished it inside the distance. And so the party was starting with about a minute to go in the 12th and final round. It's been a really, really special night here in Belfast, and we can expect many more to come. I know Barry McGuigan was saying that if he was to win this one, they've all taken a big gamble here financially and otherwise. If he was to win this one, they'd be looking at even bigger outdoor arenas, very close to where we are here this evening. So this is a story that is going to grow and grow.
And what an iconic image that is there, Mike, with Barry McGuigan. He's sitting there, obviously a former world champion, right beside the new world champion. Old and new sitting together.
And that's been part of the romance of this story, the linking of the present and the past. Very similar in terms of their appeal, very similar in terms of their personalities, although very different in terms of the way they fight. But Frampton here has become a world champion after 5 years as a professional. That's pretty much par for the course. But in terms of having had only 18 fights, that's very early. But you see, he has taken so much from the one-on-one mentoring of Barry McGuigan that he's a lot older than 18 fights. And Barry McGuigan has been such an important part of this whole story, as has his son Shane, it has to be said. This is a wonderful story of two families.
What next for Carl Frampton, Mike?
Well, we get a sense that he might have to defend against a particular opponent. If the International Boxing Federation, whose belt he's won here this evening, say that he has to make a mandatory defence, then he won't really have too much choice in the matter. But with this kind of pulling power, with this kind of appeal, then certainly he has a lot of draw here. But I'm just about to be joined by Shane McGuigan, successful trainer. Tony Bellew was singing your praises during the course of the contest, Shane. But first of all, just give us the raw emotion, how you feel after all the build-up.
Oh, you just can't describe it. Words can't describe. I mean, you know, Tony would know. People don't see the amount of hours that you put into the gym. You know, day in, day out, the discipline, the round sparring, the tears of joy come out of us tonight. You know, it's absolutely fantastic.
All through the build-up, did everything go to plan? Were there any hiccups? Often there are in the build-up to a fight of this magnitude.
No, 14 weeks training camp. You know, he's over 260 rounds sparring. We brought a guy in from Top Rank, a super featherweight, Casey Ramon, who gave him tough sparring every single day in the gym. And this guy's made of the real stuff. He really is. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with him. And you know, Tony knows a true fighter when he sees one.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I said before, Shane brings something to the table. It's a new scientific modern way of training. Your boxing is still a long way in the dark ages. You're looking at now a young trainer with a fantastic athlete in Carl, and he uses the new way of training. I follow these guys, I watch what he does, and it's fantastic. But like I say, I can't stress enough that there's a modern way of training now, and boxing is being brought forward. And as you've seen tonight, he was just fantastic. The biggest thing for me, Shane, is that he's improving with each fight.
I greatly appreciate it, Tony, and I'm glad that you can see that. You know, in the gym, that's where we do all our hard work, and you know, this is just exposure now.
Tonight he showed many different factors. Tonight he showed the boxing side, then he showed the fighting side. Yeah. His counter-punching tonight was pinpoint, it was perfect.
How much easier was that in the first fight? You know
I was talking to the guys. It was absolutely every punch you could see Kiko was feeling them, because in the first fight he let him he let him into the fight more.
Yeah.
And tonight he was so clinical with the counter punching, with the, it was vicious at times. You could just see Kiko
sharp shooting.
Yeah, Kiko felt every single right hand, and the minute they landed, they got Kiko's respect. Whereas in the first fight, it was a little bit more rushed, and he let him get close. But tonight, every time Kiko got close, he paid, and he paid dearly.
Shane, when he floored Frampton in the 5th round, what did you say?
Floored him.
When he floored Martinez in the 5th round, and when Frampton came back to the corner, what was your advice then about maybe not running away with it?
Just keeping cool. He's a fit guy, and when you're fit and physically fit, you can recover fast. And that's just something that he's always going to be dangerous. A lion's always dangerous when he's hurt, and that was always the case with Nigel Benn. He would get dropped and he'd get up and he'd bang people out. So that was always on the back of my mind. Go out there, keep your intelligence. Keep doing what you're doing. This crowd is entertained just by Carl Frampton. He doesn't need to go and knock people out, but he just showed tonight just unbelievable talent and unbelievable skill and discipline.
What did you make of the noise when you came out? You must have tried to prepare for it, but it was just so deafening.
It's just one of those things, you just got to adapt to it, and he adapts to Kiko Martinez. We've got to adapt to the noise. It's we got no ceiling up here to bounce back off, but he really had a deafening sound, and it put the fear of God into Kiko Martinez.
It was great. It was really great to see, and a big thing, I went into the changing rooms about an hour and a half before Carl was due in the ring, and I seen Shane, I seen Barry, and I seen Carl, and the first thing I said to Carl was, don't get involved with the crowd tonight. And like I said, he didn't. He stuck to a game plan. I'm sure Shane and Carl, months, well, it is months, they've done a 14-week training camp.
It's years.
It's his life, and people just don't understand this. They don't see the pain, the weeks, the months, the years of training that you go through. And tonight he came out here and he's years ahead of himself, because there's very, very few guys who can come out in front of 16,000 people screaming, and he kept his mind focused tonight. He kept his mind on the job, and that, like I say, is a young fighter with it's a young fighter with a guy with he's got a wise head on young shoulders. He really, really has, and the sky is the limit for Carl now. He has the crossover appeal, and 16,000 people. I can't stress to everybody listening in right now, that's his 19th fight in front of 16,000 people, and he's IBF Super Bantamweight Champion of the world.
A very special performance. Thank you very much to Shane McGuigan. Congratulations on all the work and all the time you gave us in the build-up to the fight. Thank you, Shane.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Well, hopefully we'll get a word very soon with the new IBF Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Carl Frampton. Carl, you've been part of a very, very special night of boxing for Belfast, for Northern Ireland, for the UK, and around the world. That will have really resonated tonight. Special night.
A special night for me, and one I'll never forget. It was unbelievable. The atmosphere here was fantastic. I thought it might have been lost in the open air, but it wasn't. It was brilliant, and I said there, I don't know if you heard, but Big Tony will say the best fans in the world are from Liverpool, but they're definitely from Belfast.
I'll tell you something, mate, that's one of the best receptions I've ever heard. What impressed me the most is you were so cool, you were so calm, you were collected, and what we talked about in the changing room, you'd done it, mate.
Thank you.
You didn't let the crowd, you was emotionless.
I had a look at you, Tony, halfway through the fight, and you put your finger to your head, just went, be smart, remember it. So thank you, mate.
You were fantastic, mate. You was just unbelievable tonight. You've dethroned a genuine world champion, and you didn't just dethrone him. There was times there, Carl, where you beat him up.
Thank you.
And you took him apart. The right hand, the counter punching was fantastic. I just think it's a great story, mate, and you deserve all the plaudits in the world, and you've done it the hard way. You've got the title, you've earned your shot, and fantastic, mate. I'm so happy for you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, lads.
Carl, I know it's a very chilly evening. Just a couple of more questions. In the final round there, when you landed that terrific salvo on the ropes, did you feel you might finish him inside the distance? Did he look like a man ready to go?
It looked like he was hurt, but he was hurt, but he's so tough. He came straight back, and that's the whole thing. I seen red for a little bit, and I hit him with a lot of shots, and he was still on his feet, so I knew it was well in front. So I just decided, if I be smart here, and I've got the world title.
That was the thing. I said this as you were coming into the last round. Mike said to me, what should he do here? I said, if I was his trainer, I'd say, you just get on that bike, you have won a world title, you just don't have to touch it. But once again, you're sharp shooting, and you were so accurate with the right hand, and when the right hand landed, you was buzzing him all night, Carl, buzzing him with every shot, and you just stay calm, stay composed, which is brilliant to do, because that's not the sign of a young fighter, that's the sign of an old head on young shoulders, and that's what's so impressive, is every time you did hit him, You didn't go rushing in and give it away. You was really good in that side, and that's, like I say, that's down to the testament you as a coach and the way you train and the way you do it.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it, honestly, especially from a man like yourself. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much.
And Carl, just finally at the press conference on Thursday at the Titanic Museum there, you said to me that this is something that you'd been working for 20 years, even though you're only 27, even at the age of 7, half a mile away at the amateur boxing club you first walked into. This has been the dream.
It has, and I feel a bit emotional. It's been a long time coming. It's been a hard road. There's been ups and downs. When at the end of my amateur career, I was thinking of maybe hanging the gloves up and stuff when things weren't going right for me, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad for everyone that's ever supported me, and I intend to hold on to it for a very long time.
Thanks, Carl. It's one we won't forget.
Thank
Congratulations, and enjoy your time as a champion, however long.
Be proud and sleep well with that belt tonight, mate. I'm telling you, it was fantastic.
So there are the sentiments of Carl Frampton, the newest world champion from these parts. They've produced so many good fighters, and Barry McGuigan was saying to me at the final press conference just a short walk from here on Thursday how in these parts they know a good one when they see one. Barry, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's a pretty special talent. What did you think, guys? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, Barry was fantastic. I've said from day one, tonight he was clinical. He was so much more improved than the first fight with Martinez. Every single time Martinez got close, he paid the price. Yeah. Every single time. The right hand was explosive. Yeah. The lateral movement was causing Martinez problems all night long. And I said tonight, what was the most impressive for me is he's got an old head on young shoulders.
Yeah, he's very cool. He's very composed. I saw that right at the beginning. But he had him out twice or 3 times, and he just couldn't put the finishing touches. Martinez, the lateral movement, his upper body movement, his head is almost parallel with the floor. So he offers you his forehead. Yeah. It's very hard to hit him on the chin, and the one time he did hit him on the cheekbone and chin, he had him down, and then he had him in trouble. But I thought it was very composed, and he held his feet for the last couple of rounds and made it exciting. But Kiko Martinez was incredibly brave. My God, the state of his face afterwards was absolutely
tough as old boots.
Well, listen, guys, I'm not going to detain you because I want to get out of here.
I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
And one last question, Barry. Yeah. We've been talking about this tonight. You often separate big fights in events. This tonight was an event, but I mean, looking at you at times at ringside with all you've got invested in this emotionally and otherwise, could you really savour it until that last bell had rung?
Not really. No, I mean, it's hard. I mean, Tony will understand, and maybe he'll start doing this when he's older. I wouldn't advise it, Tony.
No chance, Barry.
But when you invest in somebody, and I don't mean financially, I mean emotionally. I mean emotionally, and this kid, I love him. He's like my son, and that's the truth. These things are bantered around often, but I really think he's like my flesh and blood. He's very, very important to me, and yet I know how talented he is. And in the boxing business, you gotta say to him, get on with it and take your lumps and bumps. But he showed his bravery tonight. He got hit with some tremendous shots, and he certainly showed the skills that he's got. He's really got a tremendous future ahead of him. So many great fights out there for him.
Terrific. Congratulations, Barry, and thanks for all your help in the build-up.
Thank you, Tony.
Congratulations, Barry. It was an event tonight. A event you should be proud of. That's going to go down in not just Irish boxing history, but boxing history.
And you know what's going to go down in history as well? You sat the whole night without a jumper on you. It's incredible. He's got a short sleeve shirt. I just don't understand. He must have asbestos in his blood. Thanks, boys. I'm sure it was brilliant. I look forward to listening back to it.
Thanks, Barry.
Great stuff. Thanks to Barry McGuigan, the Chief Executive of Cyclone Promotions, but much more importantly, the manager and mentor of Carl Frampton, the link between Belfast and Northern Ireland boxing past and present. He was champion in the mid-80s, and as they start to dismantle the ringside furniture here, we're talking about the building of a potential superstar in Carl Frampton. Stephen.
Well, what a night, and what a night for Northern Ireland as well. If you're listening back home, what a fantastic result.